And good morning, my beautiful America. Welcome back to the All American Book Club. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the middle of February. Yes, it is cold. We have seen tons of snow and it is frigid February, but we're going to warm your hearts as we prepare for Valentine's Day, as be prepared for National Religious Broadcasters, February 17th through the 20th in Nashville, Tennessee. I have a very special guest I have the honor to bring over to the show, Elaine, actress, producer, woman of God, woman of faith, in her own right, has just been leading the force for women who want to be in film and bring value and faith back to the film, back to the public square. So please help me welcome to the show for the very first time, Elaine. I am so glad to have you here. Welcome.
Hi, Eden. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Absolutely. So, as we've been getting to know each other, it's been an honor to just see your heart for the Lord, to see your passion for the public square, film, women who are leading. I want to go right back to the very root. What really got you into this? What really started you in this role?
Oh gosh. Well, I have been in production in
Mhm.
one shape or another for
Mhm.
15 years in the industry. Originally from
Mhm.
California, now I live in Texas. And
Mhm.
I started acting about 6 years ago, and then I just parlayed my knowledge of production and acting, and I put my two passions together, and I just started my own production company. And my heart is really in creating faith and family entertainment.
Have you seen a lack of faith and family entertainment, hence why you are wanting to put more out there? I mean, I think we obviously know that there is. It's but go ahead.
I think that our industry is very saturated with a lot of projects that aren't driven around faith and family. And so there definitely is a need to have more of that. And I just wanted to be a part of that movement. I feel like it is growing,
Mhm.
steadily, and people are more interested in clean entertainment. And I just wanted to be a part of that movement to be able to make something that's just not only family friendly, but truly cinematic as well.
So let's talk about the reason why you're going to be in Nashville. The Crown Awards will also be during the NRB convention, and you are up for Best Actress, Best Film on Where the Wind Blows, Carolyn Fife, best-selling book. I see that she is a USA Today best-selling author. And
Yes.
so let's talk about just the energy that has come in and around you producing this film, being a part of the film, the music, everything that has come together. It's now here for you. Talk about that.
Yes, it's finally here. We feel so honored. My team, myself, my team, we put so much hard work into this film. We're up for best film, best
Mhm.
actress, and best soundtrack. So we're up for three Crown Awards, which is super exciting. So I'll be at NRB all week and I'll be at the Crown Awards. And I mean, I had to wear both hats. So I was in front of the camera and behind the camera, which stretched me, but in the best way. And my team we really did the impossible. We filmed this film in 17 days. It's a romantic Western based off of the best-selling book by
Yeah.
Caroline Fife. And it's called Where the Wind Blows. And it's just a really lovely, sweet story. And we're just so proud that we're acknowledged and nominated for three Crown Awards.
What captivated you in Caroline's book? I mean, I when you told me about it, I sat there and thought, this is what I thought. This is going to get my husband to sit down and watch a rom-com with me because most of the time it's pulling teeth. Where he's on one side of the world, I'm on the other, watching different types of genres on TV. But this got us together to sit down and watch it. So what was the trigger for you to pick her book? What was it? Is it because it's the Western component?
Well, my director,
Mhm.
editor, writer of the screenplay based off of the book, and other producing partner, John Shimke, I met him a few years ago. And when I started my own production company, all my friends and contacts that I knew, I asked them to give me scripts if they had anything that's family friendly. And he had one that he developed 15 years ago based off of the book called Where the Wind Blows. And so he
Mhm.
had it for 15 years. And then 3 years ago, he gave it to me. And the moment I read it, I just fell in love with it. I mean, it's just such a
Mhm.
sweet, wholesome, good story with great
Mhm.
writing. And we just had so many talented people work on the screenplay to have the book come to life. And so the
Mhm.
second I read it, I just fell in love with the story and my character, Jessie Strong. She's a widow that is a young widow that all she wants is to adopt this little girl and create this family. And she needs help from a rugged, handsome cowboy. And
Oh yeah.
Leslie steps in and pretends to be her husband for a little bit. And so you just go on this journey of kind of this backwards way of how this couple comes together and creates a family. And it's just a lovely story.
Let's talk about the opening scene with you.
Oh,
For
yes.
those who haven't watched it yet, that was hysterical to me. How did you keep a straight face? So set the scene, tell the audience, let's get them in this cold month of February to go and watch the movie with their spouses, with their and kids can watch it too. There's nothing that we need to protect them from. It's like you have said, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let's set the stage, open up that scene.
Well, my character Jessie Strong in the scene where she meets Chase Logan, the cowboy that will eventually become very important to her. You have to remember this is the 1880s, and she was left alone a lot in her cabin in the middle of nowhere. And so she answers the door with a shotgun. But that's just like that just embodies who, Jessie Strong is. She's just an independent woman. She's fierce. She knows how to take care of herself. And so she was just ready for anything in that moment. He wasn't ready to be to be greeted at the door like that, but she was ready for anything that was behind that door.
And I also think you need to share with the ladies, those who love this show and watch a lot of great American movies, Christmas movies. We've had a lot of the talent on there. Go ahead and share with the ladies who your the male lead role is in this film.
Well, I had the privilege of having our male lead be Trevor Donovan, and he's been in a lot of films. But we were so lucky getting Trevor. I was a part of the casting process as well because I was a producer. So myself and my team, we had so many people that submitted to be Chase,
Mhm.
his role as the cowboy. But Trevor truly embodies that character. If you read the book Where the Wind Blows, he really is described to look like Trevor. So we were very lucky that he wanted to do the project.
Well, I think a lot of America is very lucky to see him. So we can totally appreciate the presence he brings to the big screen. So no, that was a really I want to go back to the appreciation of faith and family values that you brought to the screen within this film. But I also want to talk about something that you and I have been constantly talking about as we are preparing for the NRB convention. There's something else that we're going to be doing with you, and that is the Washington Times and the Washington Policy Institute is going to be hosting a Women in Leadership, Women of Faith panel discussion during the
Yes.
convention. You are going to be up there with actress Sam Sorbo. You're going to be up there with playwright Christy Stutzman. You're going to be up there with female executive leaders, Jenny Nolte and Rebecca Kelly from Glue. And then famous podcaster, book author, military spouse, and Renaissance woman, Hannah Peru. You're going to be up there with a lot of different leading ladies.
Yes.
But the thing that you all have in common, quite a few things, but the things I want to highlight are this: faith, being mama bears, being
Yeah.
in the boardroom, being on the big screen, an uphill battle, putting those battle boots on, whether they're spiked heels or real battle boots, of really wanting to overcome the constant issues that we see in the public square today that are affecting our culture. And what's affecting our culture is it's hurting our children and our next generation. But something that all of you talk about individually and then collectively is when my child walks into a room, I don't have to want to run for the remote and
Yes.
make sure that it's something that they can hear, watch, and see. If
Yeah.
that is not the case, there's a bigger issue, there's a bigger problem. You have said that numerous times. And if you wouldn't mind just sharing a snapshot of really what convicted you when you were a young mom. That was you basically described that to a T, like other moms have said. Share just a little bit about what was that pivotal turning point for you?
Sure. Well, it was a pivotal turning point for me when I decided to be in this industry, not only to pick projects that line up with my morals and values, but I was a young mom and my daughter, I had her full time. And so if I decided to watch something, before her bedtime, I just wanted it to be where, like you said, I don't have to, reach for the remote and change it. And I can just watch my show all the way through. And then she can grow up with more of that wholesomeness around her. That might not be for every parent, but for me,
Yeah.
that was important in my house. And so moving forward, those are just the type of projects that touch my heart, that I just want to have
Yeah.
it to where the whole family can watch it together and it can be an experience for, from grandparents down to young children. They can all be in the room, and then you can have deep, meaningful conversations about what you saw and how
Yeah.
what emotions it evoked out of you, seeing a film, and
Yeah.
just where my heart lies.
Yeah. I also want to highlight something else of where I've seen just your conviction for women in this industry. And you had mentioned something the other day in our conversation about wanting to help women grow in their trade.
Mhm.
And though it's not public knowledge, you humbly do it. You are coaching, you're mentoring, you're leading women, no matter what age they are. If they are seeking you out because they see the leader and woman of faith that you are. Can you talk just a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, it's not like I'm putting a service out there or
Yeah.
anything. Um,
Yeah.
no, I'm very humbled. A lot of my friends in this industry are actresses as well, and they want to take the next step in producing. And
Mhm.
so they, if they have questions, they reach out to me and I'll get on a Zoom with them and just go through the process all the way from development all the way through distribution, because I had my hand in every single part of it. And I've
Mhm.
done it twice now. I did it with Mayberry Man, the TV
Mhm.
series, and now with Where the Wind Blows. And so those were with my production company. And now we're doing a third installment, Mayberry Man season two. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel like if there is someone that wants to take the next step, I think the
Mhm.
best thing for you, which is what I did, is
Mhm.
find yourself a mentor,
Mhm.
someone that's done it, and don't be afraid to reach out and ask them questions, because most of the time, if not all of the time, they want to help, including myself.
Right.
I want to help people. And I've actually done that. I've sought out, directors and other producers that I've seen in the industry and I love their work. And so I'll reach out to them just randomly and just be like, hey, I know you don't know me, but this is who I am. Would you mind jumping on a quick call or a Zoom or getting a coffee? And 10 out of 10 times for me, like they will meet with me. So I just wanted to pay that forward. And so if I have, friends or colleagues in the business that have questions, and I'm
Yeah.
always open to answering them for people. And yeah.
Well, with you doing that, having I too, in my own trade, sought out mentors in my young career on Capitol Hill, and they are still with me today.
Mhm.
And being able to impact people in their walk of faith, their career journey, but also being able to balance not the fear of missing out, of having it all, but being able to have what God has given them and to use those gifts and talents for his glory. And you are doing that with the value driven film. Everything that you were seeking to do, you're being recognized for, but also that path and how you are investing in these women who are wanting to be a part of something greater. We always talked about, you don't know this about me, but years ago, I had worked during the Bush administration, and it was right after 9/11, and it was working with Switchfoot and Bono and Ashley Judd and Jars of Clay and all of those in the early 2000s. We were all coming together in Washington to do something greater than ourselves.
Mhm.
And we were supporting the troops, we were talking about cultural issues, which you are affecting even today in 2026. You are affecting our families for good. You are affecting our young minds for good. You are affecting these leaders in film for good. And we had been wanting to do that all of those years to really, and this is what the goal was to lift the good, the true, and the beautiful. And I still see that happening today, even if it's not covered by legacy media, even if it's not covered by the New York Times. We are making an impact. We are unwavering in our faith, but we are also certain in what we are bringing to the public square to impact those, and basically bringing people back around the kitchen table to
Yes.
have those real conversations.
Yes. It's very important.
Yeah. And you being a mother and all of the mothers that we're gathering together for the Women in Leadership panel at NRB, I've had individual conversations with each and every one of you. And it comes down to, why can't we get our families back around the kitchen table? And have you noticed that most homes no longer even build a dining room?
Oh, I haven't noticed that. Oh, gosh.
And it's true. And most furniture stores no longer carry dining room tables.
Oh, wow.
And some of the people that you'll meet, like Gigi Butler, I'm just going to highlight this as we're just a few minutes out from wrapping, but Gigi Butler is a longtime friend of mine and famous for her cupcakes. And one of the things that we both found was people aren't gathering around a kitchen table anymore to sit down and have family conversations, to eat together, to engage, because they're this
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yes.
And I get it. We live in a rapid pace society and culture, but if we're not engaging at the home front, how are we going to impact our communities and our nation for good?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And you are a part of that. You are a part of that.
Trying very hard to be. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm so glad to have you here, Ashley Elaine.
You.
And in just a minute we have left, let's do this. Where can people get involved with you who have heard about this movie, or can they go watch it? And can you give a little sneak peek as to what could be ahead in the coming year with you so we could bring you back?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me. Everyone can go watch Where the Wind Blows. It's out now streaming on Apple and Amazon Prime. And you can follow me at Instagram _Ashley.Elaine. You could find Where the Wind Blows official on Instagram, and you can follow the film there or myself. And for me, I have a few projects lined up. We're doing Mayberry Man season 2, which I'm very excited about. We're going to film in June. And then I have 2 other Christmas films in development. So,
Very good. Okay.
yeah.
Well, this audience is Christmas focused. So we're going to do Christmas in July. So if
Yes.
by then we're able to share anything, we'll have you and any of your co-stars come back and we'll do a Christmas in July feature with you for
Oh,
sure.
that would be so fun. Yes. Thank you so
Yes.
much for having me. This was delightful.
Absolutely. So, for all of those who are tuning in, stay tuned for our next segment and hop over to nrbconvention.org. You don't want to miss it. You're going to see all of these amazing actors and celebrities and those in the public square. Just going to throw this out there. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth will also be joining us for the America 250 celebration. So, come join us, nrbconvention.org. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be right back with our next segment.